team's been off to a hot start. What's working for you guys right now?
Yeah, we continue to pitch the ball pretty well. I think that's the big thing. We've thrown the ball well. We've gotten good starts. Now our pitchers are starting to build that pitch count up, which will be good to kind of get going there. And then offensively, I thought we just played a really good brand of baseball this weekend. I thought we hit some homers. We manufactured some runs. I thought the at-bats were really tough. I think coming off of last weekend, we scored some runs and won some games, but I didn't just love the way the offense functioned. This weekend is what it's supposed to look like. It was really tough at bats, really unselfish at bats. Played pretty good defense over the course of the weekend, had a couple lapses, but pretty good defense. So that's a recipe for good stuff. You can continue to do that.
And there's always room for improvement. So what are you guys looking to work on in the midweek and the practices leading up to the weekend?
Yeah, I think the big thing that I'm excited for, especially tomorrow for the midweek, is the first time this group's going to go on the road. We haven't, even in the fall, both of our games were here. We've played our first 8 games at home, which is great. But it's time to get a little bit uncomfortable. We played well, and now it's time to get out of our comfort zone a little bit, play a good UAB team at their place. They've played pretty good baseball. They beat a good Kennesaw State team that played pretty well down at Clemson this last weekend. So we'll have our work cut out for us there. And then turn our attention to Texas. That's 3 really good teams, kind of a regional type atmosphere this weekend, down in Frisco with Indiana, who I'm really familiar with. I've spent a lot of time in that league. And they're super talented this year. And then a good Arizona team and a Dallas Baptist team that's playing at an elite level right now. So to me, the biggest thing is just now, can we operate the same way we've been operated at home when we're uncomfortable, when BP is a little different and you're on the road and you're not in your familiar confines of your park. And I think that's going to be a good test for us and a really good barometer for us this week.
And the pitching staff has been lights out so far. So what can you say about that group's progress through the first week?
Yeah, the one thing I really liked about this weekend is it didn't seem to come as easy for them at times. They had to grind through some stuff. I thought their credit Valpo, it's an older hitting group. I know they didn't do crazy stuff offensively, but there's some older hitters in there, and I thought they had a good plan. And they made some of our guys work a little bit. We had to work out of a couple jams. We had to pitch with some traffic on the bases. We didn't just go out and punch out 15 guys a game, and I think that's good. We need to be able to do that a little bit, and it's good to see those guys kind of not panic in those situations and execute. And that's going to be the big thing. They do a great job of preparing, but of when kind of stuff doesn't go your way, and whether it's an error, whether it's a walk, whatever it may be, that we can kind of manufacture our way through that. And I thought those guys did a great job.
And then offense has also recorded double-digit hits and runs in almost every game. So how do you guys keep that going?
Yeah, I think the big improvement I think this group made this week was we just looked way less in between pitches. I thought we had a good plan going in. Guys were aggressive within the strike zone. Our chase was way down this week, but we were also more aggressive to pitches we needed to be more aggressive to and just didn't miss them as much. I thought opening weekend we controlled the strike zone pretty good, but we just missed a lot of pitches we don't normally miss. And this weekend I thought they were much better at that. So that's going to be the big thing. Nothing changes. Can we stay in the strike zone? Can we run off our plan? And can we be super decisive and make good decisions?
And then heading into Texas to square off with, like you said, 3 very talented top 25 teams. What are you looking forward to most in this tournament?
I think it's just going to be a really good barometer of where we're at. Like I said, we played our first 8 games here. We've had great weather. Everything's kind of, I don't want to say been easy, but been pretty comfortable. It's kind of been business as usual for our guys. And, you're not going to see run rule games in Texas. Hopefully, we're at least not on that end. I think it's going to be 3 hard-fought games. You've got really talented offenses in all 3 of them. That Indiana team it's an SEC lineup. They're really good. Arizona hung up some really good numbers offensively, and Dallas Baptist is known to be able to slug the baseball and hit. So I think you're going to see a lot more competitive games. I think it's good for us. So like good, bad, or indifferent. We've played with a lead for all but about 5 minutes of the season, and I think us being comfortable playing from behind, us not panicking playing from behind. I'd love to get out and play with the lead again. That'd be great. But I think it's just going to be a really good barometer of what are we doing well, where do we need to grow, and as we kind of wrap up, our pre-conference before Tennessee rolls into town, where do we need to take strides as a group? And I think this will be a good test of that.
Last question. What do you guys have to do to have a successful weekend in Texas?
I think be us. It's just going to be different. We're going to be in a hotel the first time. There's going to be distractions. You're not going to take your normal BP. You're going to be hitting BP in a cage or at an off-site field. So it's not going to be kind of your standard pre-game process. You could have that first game going extra innings. We play the second game every day. That first game could go 18 innings, and we could be delayed 2 hours. How do we mentally handle that stuff? That's what I'm really looking for, and as we're going to be in a hotel, again, when you play evening games, there's a lot of time to sit around the hotel, and we're going to try to do a good job of getting them up and moving and getting some stuff going, but I think it's just going to be a good test of our maturity. Can we operate outside of our comfort zone the same way we've operated in it? And good, bad, or indifferent, it's going to be really good for this group as we kind of prepare to get going for the rest of the season.